Hello and welcome to the Build with Baer Workshop. My name is Pat Baer. I'm here to build some model kits, and I'm also here to hang out with all of you. And I'm going to start things off by throwing the Bear Cave, the Lego, the site, the Tier 2 blue emote into chat. If you are currently a subscriber, you can reply with those emotes. If you're not yet a subscriber, you can say hi. You can use other people's emotes. And if you feel like being a lurker, this is your opportunity to hear from a friend. It's okay to lurk. It's totally all right. If you just want to hang out and lurk and you don't want to say anything, you do that. Go with God. Lashbrook is here. Hello, Lashbrook. It's a Saturday, and my energy is weird. I can feel it as soon as I started doing the pre-show talk over the 1 minute ad break. I recognized that my energy is hyper, maybe manic. A little odd, off from my usual. If you're not noticing it different, that would be great. If I was somehow masking for you, that would be excellent. But I know I'm not for me. I know that I'm off. Let me explain. I've been watching wrestling today, and that's not that unusual. But I've been watching wrestling all day today. AEW All In Texas started at 3 p.m. But really, it started at 1 p.m. And I've been sitting here with breaks to get up and get food from 1 p.m. Eastern until 8:55, 8:54, something like that. Last with the very timely question, what, finishing a pay-per-view 3 minutes before your stream isn't ideal? Yeah, so that happened. So, the main event literally wrapped up, and then I started the stream up. I've had the stream prepped. I've had my stuff on. I've been ready to go with the stream. Hey, Vash, welcome. Let's go to the overhead camera. Let's work on the Lah Gundam. We got the Gundam Lah here, the entry grade Gundam Lah. Lah Gundam. So we're working on that. So the last hour, I've just been playing the am I going to start the stream late game? Because I was hanging with people in a Discord watching the show, and I wasn't going to leave before the main event ended. And I was like, all right, well, I got 40-something minutes. I think I'm going to make it. Oh, I got 30-something minutes. I think I'm going to make it. Oh, I got 10. Ooh, oh, how much more over 30 minutes is this match going to go? Oh, okay. Well, all right. Look, I can start the stream late. You know, it might actually benefit me to start the stream late. But I didn't want to do that. I wanted to start the stream on time, which I did, thankfully. And we'll talk about the various things here that happened in this. We'll go through the pay-per-view, all 12 matches, pre-show and show matches for All In, and it's going to be most of the first hour. But we are going to start with one story that is, I think, interesting. Now, I was starting to hear some scuttlebutt about a canceled manhwa, and I was like, oh, that's interesting. Usually when manhwas get canceled, it doesn't make news. It doesn't hit websites. Maybe Anime News Network will report on it. It'll mostly just be social media. Websites that cover manga don't really cover South Korean comics. Usually it's, if you get something covered, it's, oh, this show is, or this manga or manhwa or whatever, or manhwa, is going to be an anime, or there's an animated series in some country of this show. That's usually what it is. But the manhwa, South Korean comic Windbreaker, has been canceled, which is incredibly popular. Now, before I go into specifics on this, I should note this so that you understand where we're coming from here. When I say Windbreaker, that's two words. Windbreaker, which is a manhwa about a team of people on bikes is a sports anime about biking. So anime, sports manhwa, sports story. It's not Windbreaker, one word, which is the shonen manga that also is an anime, and I've covered the first season previously. I didn't cover the second season. Hey, the second season, pretty fucking fun. So this is manhwa. This has like, this is a webtoon. It was very popular. And basically, the last chapter came out, and the latest chapter came out, and it was just like, hey, this is the last one. Because there were several accusations of plagiarizing, of tracing over and reusing digitally, reusing other people's art. And I'm not, and that's fucking terrible. And it is. And when I say that, I'm not talking about like, oh, I adapted this famous thing. I adapted this fan art for my own purposes. I took this thing and just reused it. I'm specifically talking about this motherfucker stole from other webtoons. The same company. Jo Young Seok stole from like other webtoons. This has been a publication for over a decade. And the author confirmed it and said, hey, we're done. It's over. On my blog, I'm going to post like what was supposed to happen in it for closure for fans. But yeah, we got ourselves a tracer, and he traces other webtoons. Like what? In chapter 177 of part 4 of the series. I don't know how many chapters there were. I've never read this particular manhwa because I'm not super into sports stories in media particularly, and I'm certainly not really interested in reading it. If I do get into one, it's usually a visual thing. So but yeah, people were super into this story, so it's fucking wild. Now, if you're wondering why, mostly it's just the pressures of having a weekly thing. If you are unfamiliar, if you've never read a manhwa, if you've never read a South Korean comic, they're weekly and they're in color. And it's a lot. It's a lot of production. Generally, webtoons are written by or adapted by one person and drawn by another. Sometimes there is a team. It is often one person generally in their 20s. Stories have been known to change artists. Sometimes the artists just have burnout, or they quit, or they pass away, or in some cases the artists get conscripted into because every able-bodied South Korean has to do time in the service in the South Korean army. So a lot of times manhwa artists, or also like gamers, pro gamers and all that, they have to stop doing it. Occasionally there have been idols that have had to do that as well. It's just a thing. It's a whole thing. That's why there is like a manhwa subgenre of stories about people that have finished their service and now their life gets to begin. Like that's a very popular plot point in those stories. But yeah, over more than 10 years of publication, series has been a staple webtoon site with over 600 million views. And people were really into it. Like I said, it wasn't for me, but people were really into it. Most likely, like webtoon was just like, yeah, we're canceling it. It's probably not going to come back. That's probably it. It's just kind of interesting. At first I saw people talking about, like, oh, this is happening. And I was like, oh yeah. But I was like, oh wait, no, that's a really popular one. Because it does happen, especially on the sites where you can like Tapas, the sites where you can submit your own for publication. There are certainly people that just steal art and trace over it. Usually people are doing like photorealistic stuff and they're tracing over real images, to which they think there's nothing wrong with that. But this case, this was someone stealing from other artists on the very site that they were being published on, which is wild. We're body complete on the Lah, and now it's time to augment the Lah to add some stuff to it. We've got some weapons here. We can do 2 versions of the gun. We can do the traditional RX-782 gun, or we can do the modified gun, and we will of course do the modified one. Add a little more color to this because it just looks neat. And a reminder, we do not need to use any tools for this. I might have used clippers here by mistake because I'm so used to using clippers, but this is an entry grade and you can just get these out normally. There have been a couple that were a little hard to get out, but for the most part, totally fine. All right, that was one piece of news I wanted to do. I think Monday we're going to do a deep dive on Subnautica 2 because more information keeps coming out, and I would not be surprised if there was more to talk about with Subnautica 2 stuff on Monday as things just start to get, kind of unraveling what's going on there. So I want to do a little bit more research, a little bit more reading on it before I start weighing in personally. So we'll wait till Monday for that. But we can talk about All In Texas. Again, this show began pre-show at 1 p.m. There were 3 matches on the pre-show. And one of the most notable things on the pre-show was the announcement that Adam Cole was not going to be able to compete. In kayfabe, they said it was because he got attacked on Thursday on Collision, and he was not cleared to wrestle. We do not know the extent of his real life, if it's what injury it is, if it is related to something that happened in the ring, if it is an illness, we do not know. Adam Cole did come out before that match, and he did basically say, I don't want to call this a retirement, which might be him retiring. We don't know. But Adam Cole was the TNT champion. It was announced that that there would be a match that eventually did happen for the title, and it was not going to be interim. So whatever was happening with Adam Cole, they did not expect him to be back like within a month. Yeah, I hope that Adam Cole, aka Chugs, is okay. I hope that whatever is happening to him, he is able to come back from it, in ring or not. Just I hope his quality of life improves dramatically. But it was announced that Dustin Rhodes, Sammy Guevara, Daniel Garcia, and Kyle Fletcher, who was the number 1 contender, would face in a 4-way match. I do not know why it wasn't just Danny versus Kyle. I mean, later we kind of have an understanding. I do not understand that. There's a bunch of it that I'm like very confused about. We'll get to it when we get to it. But there's some stuff going on with that match that I was like, huh? And like I said, we will chat about that when we get there. But hey, Sammy and Dustin were already scheduled for a match, and they were in that match. Dustin Rhodes, Sammy Guevara, who go by the name Sons of Texas. Well, guess what? Also, their tag partners, Marshall Von Erich and Ross Von Erich, all 4 of them went out as the Sons of Texas because the Von Erichs, very well known in the Texas area. They are Sons of Texas. Also, Sammy and Dustin are both from Texas. So, yeah, they're all the Sons of Texas. They were joined by Kevin Von Erich, who is the father of Marshall and Ross. Also, during that match, there was an appearance by Dusty's grandkids, Dusty Rhodes' grandkids, who are the sons of Dustin Rhodes' sister. So it's the half-sister of Cody, the full sister of Dustin. They have been trained by Dustin. They are very green. They are not ready for prime time, but they were fine enough for an appearance. They defeated Shane Taylor Promotions, in this case, Shane Taylor, Lee Moriarty, Carly Bravo, and Captain Sean Dean, with Anthony Ogogo and Trish Adora in their corner as well. That match was fun. It was 7 minutes. That's all it needed to be. It ended in a fun way where everyone's doing the claw, and that was cool and fun. There were some good bits in there. Wait, is this the wrong piece? Oh, no. Yeah, this is the right piece. Okay, that's what I'm doing. It was a good bit of business. Got the crowd going. It was fun. All of these pre-show matches got the crowd going, with the exception of the third one, which did not get the crowd going towards the end. They were bummed by the ending. It was a good 8-man tag. Anthony Ogogo was wearing a suit because that's a man who always wears a suit, but he did have a pocket square that was color coordinated with the group, and I thought that was nice. The second match, another feel-good. The Conglomeration, Kyle O'Reilly, Hologram, and Tomohiro Ishii, along with their tag partner, the Costco guy, Big Boom AJ, defeated the Don Callis family, in this case, Hechicero, Lance Archer, Rocky Romero, and Trent Beretta by pinfall. That's right. The Costco guy, along with his son, Big Justice, who is, I should mention, a child, but also taller than Rocky Romero. And also the Rizzler was there. Don't worry, the Rizzler was there. The highlight of this match for me was Trent Beretta pie-faced. He put his hand over the face of Big Justice and sent Big Justice to the floor, and Big Justice took a bump, and I was not expecting the bump, and I thought that was pretty great. I'm of the opinion that in a pre-show match with a guy who was trained to be a wrestler and has no desires to be a main eventer, to win a belt, to be in multiple solo matches, I think this is perfect and fun and silly. And I have no problem with Big Boom AJ being in a match. It is weird that he was in a match with Ishii. That is just strange. Hologram, also weird to be in the Conglomeration. But yeah, that was fun, and I was happy to see him. And that was a silly thing. Good feel-good match. Bad feel-good match. FTR with Stokely Hathaway defeated the Outrunners by pinfall. I didn't like that because they beat them on Collision in a fucking great match. And this match was good too. But I was pretty fucking frustrated with the finish of that. I think it would have fueled the heels more if they had lost. I think they really dropped the ball with the Outrunners in this case by not having them win here. I think that would have been cool as hell. And you still could have done what they did with FTR later in the night, which we'll get to. I'm just kind of bummed by that. In our opening match of the main card, the Ops, Katsuyori Shibata, Powerhouse Hobbs, and Samoa Joe defended their trios championships successfully. Oh yes, Lashbrook, you're right. Before I get into that, I should mention the highlight of that match was the fact that they had Outrunners had PvP gear, and it was clearly a riff on Newport cigarette packaging, like the packaging of cigarettes, which was an interesting choice that I didn't dislike at all. I thought that was a pretty interesting choice. Good on them. Yeah, I thought that was pretty good. I thought that was pretty fucking good on them. If you were wondering, Pat, could I turn this Lah back into an RX-782? The answer is yes. The pieces that make this an RX-782 are still here. If you want the RX-782 knees, if you want the head for the RX-782, if you want, the fin, you could do that if you wanted to. Those parts are available. We're gonna do it like the Lah because that's the kit we're working on. But if I wanted to, I could. I just got to panel line this, and we're done with this kit, and then we'll move on to the Vidar, a master grade, the very rare. They don't get released. I've built most of them that exist. Master grade build on this stream. Very excited for that. A gift from the lovely DSHS, who had an extra and mailed it to me which is just fucking incredible, wonderful, lovely. You love to hear it. You love that that's a thing that happened. Okay, so our first match on the card, officially, the Ops defeated the Death Riders, in this case, Claudio Castagnoli, Wheeler Yuta, and Gabe Kidd, who is a Death Rider or isn't a Death Rider, depending on who you talk to, but he was there. That match was solid. It was fun. I think it was maybe a minute or two too long. Some good shenanigans in it. After the match, they beat the shit out of Samoa Joe, so none of the Ops were available at the main event to help out Hangman. But that's okay, because a lot of other fucking people were there. I thought that was good. MJF won the Men's Casino Gauntlet, which clocked in at 34 minutes and 55 seconds, which is a long match. It was the second longest match of the night. Main event was longer. The order of entrants were Mark Briscoe, MJF, Ricochet, Bandito, Konosuke Takeshita, Mystico, Josh Alexander, Anthony Bowens, Roderick Strong, Brody King, Juice Robinson returning without a beard. I hate it. Clean shaven, but still long haired Juice Robinson is a fucking awful look. It's bad. I don't like it. The Guns showed up to help him out. Kota Ibushi, the Beast Mortos, and Max Caster, and that was a good thing. I didn't put the two together on them taking them out of the main event. Yeah, so Samoa Joe got taken out, which meant that he didn't show up, and the other Ops went with him to the hospital, is what they were trying to do, I guess. Because if everybody who was a face that wanted to be in that match could show up for that match, they would have outnumbered the heels by a lot. So they had to, even the playing field, I guess. Ostensibly. This match was very fun. The Gauntlet, there were some good shenanigans of people working, Josh and Takeshita worked together, and not in a I'm going to betray you later way. They worked together. Josh Alexander understood. Whoops. Josh Alexander understood that Takeshita he needed to help Takeshita win, and that was his job. His job in that match was not to win, it was to make sure that Takeshita won, which was good. It's a good match. Good for that. All right, we're going to switch over. This is the Law. I have to take a photo of this kit, and then we'll move on. I thought that match was good. It was one of my favorites of the night. The four-way for the vacant AEW TNT Championship, we'll talk about, because this is my first, I got this wrong. I predicted a few matches wrong. I thought, give it to the Outrunners. Who cares? Have them win. They didn't win. A couple people won where I was expecting it to be somebody else. I called MJF. Originally I thought Kyle Fletcher was going to beat Adam Cole, and now I don't know if he was going to, but he didn't win this match, and I have to imagine that he's going to win at Forbidden Door, and they just wanted to do, the only thing I can think of is, they wanted to do something because they were in Texas, and they wanted another Texas victory. They were already going to get a big Texas victory later, but they wanted, another big Texas win. Which they were, like you said, they were going to get somebody who's from fucking Dallas winning later. But no, we got to do it. Dustin Rhodes won an AEW belt. He has 2 Ring of Honor belts and an AEW belt. I hope his first defense is his only defense is a multi-man belt. Dustin Rhodes is so fucking old. They wanted something feel good after Cole's speech, and we all know he's not keeping it long. Yeah, to me it's just Kyle, take the boo, have Kyle win, or have the guy that Cole hugged on the ramp win. Have Daniel Garcia win. They didn't do that. They didn't have Danny win. They had Dustin Rhodes win. I don't think Dustin Rhodes is going to do well in a one-on-one match to defend that belt. And I guess maybe that's the point. Maybe he's going to lose it horribly and it'll be good that he loses like that. I don't know, but I thought that was strange. That it was a strange choice. I don't think I particularly enjoyed that choice. Dustin Rhodes is an old man, and I don't want old men to hold belts. That's just my blanket statement. AEW is still a young company, and I don't need old champions in that company. I don't like it. I don't think I'll ever like it. I don't want to like it. This is a master grade from 2025 that we are starting here. This is the Vidar, the Gundam Vidar. I'm going to double check my pronunciation of that because I wrote down. Yes, Vidar. This is the Gundam Vidar. It is a master grade. It was released this year. It has been several years, 5 years, I believe, since the last master grade from Iron Blooded Orphans, the Barbatos, which was a phenomenal master grade. So we got another one. It's the Vidar. Some of these components, the inner frame stuff, is going to be from 2019. It's going to be the same inner frame because a lot of these kits have the center frame, which is why people thought this was going to come out sooner than it did. Yeah, like this piece is stamped 2019. The plastic is from this year, but it's stamped 2019 because a lot of the inner frame is going to be the same, and it's going to be stuff like the outer frame that is going to be different. This will be a long build. We're going to be doing this for a while. I'm going to do my best to nail this. But like I said, it's going to be there's going to be some things we got to do to this here model kit, which we will do, and it'll be cool. But yeah, this is going to be I would describe this as a involved build. Because it's a master grade with a lot of details. If you wanted, you could just build the complete inner frame here, and it would work great. You wouldn't have to put any armor on it if you want to do that. They don't have you build the full frame, I don't think, and then put the armor on later. But you could do that kind of build if you wanted to do it from like the ground up, which would be, I think, kind of neat. But so yeah, other things that happened in this show. The Young Bucks lost. They are no longer in kayfabe, EVPs of the company. They do not have power in the company in that way. They lost. Sorry, I got to figure out what pieces I need here. They lost to Swerve Strickland and Will Ospreay in a match that I think is my favorite on the show. Yeah. Yeah, I think against all odds, I think that match is my favorite. It built and built and built and got crazier and crazier. It was silly in places. It was cool as hell. The action was just consistent and throughout and just kept building. It was just a incredibly well done match that like I said, I think was my favorite of the night. I have to think on it because the show ended and I started streaming, so it's not like I've had time to contemplate anything. But I do think that was my favorite. Yeah, just a good fucking ending to it. The women's casino gauntlet was won by Athena. There's your hometown pop, the second hometown pop, literally from Dallas, Texas. Athena wins in a match that I thought was pretty great. There were some messy spots. I would say there were a lot of messy spots, but that's all right. The entrant order was Chris Statlander, Megan Bain, Willow Nightingale, Tay Mello, Thekla, Julia Hart, Queen Anamanada, Mina Shirakawa, Athena, Thunder Rosa, Siri making her debut, and also Alex Windsor. So we had two debuts on the show. Siri had kind of like teased that she was going to show up. And yes, it's awesome, Vash. And we knew that Well, she had announced at a show, "Hey, I'm all elite," so we knew that Alex Winter was coming in. Alex Winter, real life partner of Will Ospreay. So that was a thing where it was just like, oh, okay, yeah, all right. Is this E9? Did I pull the right piece? Is this E9? No, that's E8. Okay, I pulled the wrong piece. I was like, this doesn't look right. And it didn't look right because it was wrong. So there's your answer. You're seeing Aminata tomorrow at DPW. That rules. Enjoy DPW. That's awesome. Queen Aminata is a stiff worker, and I applaud her for that, because when people see, we'll talk a little bit about this. Aminata works stiff. She's not taking liberties. She just works stiff. If Japanese wrestlers, especially women, if Joshi worked stiff, it's the style, it's the culture. If black women, particularly African American women here in the United States, Queen Aminata is from Africa. She's not born here. But when black women are fucking really stiff, they are going into business for themselves. They are working too hard. They're not selling. They have a problem, which is not fucking true. Her and Jada Stone, hell yeah! Last time they had a DPW match that kicked into ropes, looked so damn good. Nice, yeah. That should be great. Jada fucking rules, and is by all accounts a fucking sweetheart. Okay, so this piece has to go in. Go in like this and then twist. I don't know how this is going to work. I have to figure this out. Hold on. No, that doesn't seem right. I got to twist this in, and I don't know how it's supposed to twist in. There's a spot where this goes. Okay, I think that's right. Yeah. No. I'm going in the wrong way. I need to go in like this and then twist over. Nope, that didn't work. That didn't work either. What am I doing wrong here? Sorry, everybody. I'll figure this out, and then when I do it for the next one, it'll make sense. But yes, have you seen the TCW shows? Love all the Bucky's uses. So I've seen some of the first night, and I'm going to be watching the third night tomorrow, third day I should say. But I haven't seen all of it. I've been very busy this week, and I've been trying to keep up on AEW, so I haven't seen that. But I do want to see all the. I will see it because I usually watch TJPW on the weekends, and next weekend, Summer Sun Princess is actually on my time Monday, like Monday morning. So I'm not going to see it on Sunday. So next weekend I will watch the some of the Texas shows. I've kind of figured that out. That worked out well for me that way. Okay, so this has to go. I'm sorry that this is taking a while, folks, because I have to get this interlocking right. I've done this before on the Barbatos, but so it goes in like this, and then I got to twist it so it goes like this like here. Okay, so it's got to go like that. All right, that's locked in place. Sorry about that. And then this has to go like this. And then we need A10 and D1. We'll get. D1 is our fake chrome pieces. But yeah, I am excited to see a bunch of. I've seen clips, but I'm excited to see TJPW in the future. Anyway, Aminata rules. There was some great stuff in here. We saw the return of wearing a face guard to sell her injury. She's not injured. She just needs time off. We had Harley Cameron return. That was really good. A lot of people in this match had friends show up to help them, which was kind of fun. And the right person won. Just straight up. People can disagree with me if they want to, but I think the winner is Athena, and the person, and I was like, at that moment, I was like, Athena versus Toni Storm sounds great. Athena versus Mercedes again also sounds fucking great. Could it be Athena's time to shine and she could beat Mercedes? Maybe. Could she beat Toni? Yes. I think either would be great. And I had which one I thought was going to be the case. But I was, we'll get into that. But Athena, that was the right call. The Hurt Syndicate retained their titles. Yes, she should be getting out of AEW. She should be back to AEW where she started and out of Ring of Honor. I fully agree. It's time for her to not be in fucking Ring of Honor anymore. If this leads to her just being on the main roster all the time, I think that would be phenomenal. Okay, so got to make sure this is going the right direction, which it is. Put that in place. That locks this there. And then this goes like this. Ooh. These are complicated. Well, we'll call it complicated. But we'll figure it out. As soon as MJF won the clipboard, I knew the Hurt Syndicate were retaining. Yeah, and I don't like it. But they defeated Kevin Knight and Speedball Mike Bailey and the Patriarchy, Christian Cage and Nick Wayne, more on them, with Kip Sabian and Mother Wayne, more on them later. All right, I got this together. This thing is locked in place. These are weird components, but I'm excited about it. And I got one more piece that needs to go on here. So then if I turn this, it goes like this. So I got to turn it around, and then I need to put on A15. And then I have to do this thing the whole other way. And then I'm hoping I'm doing this correctly, and if I'm not, I'll find out, and I'll fix it. And that's the case with a lot of these. This is going to be where we're at. So we'll talk about what happened in the aftermath here, but just to get into the specifics, I thought this match was great. I thought that Kevin Knight and Mike Bailey really held their own as Jet Speed. I never for a second thought they were going to win, but I did think that they did a great job making me think like that they could take out some teams and stand tall. When they got the upper hand, when was it? I was on Collision. I was like, oh, okay. They're just finally Bobby's going to sell and they're going to be able to do something. But I still didn't think, these kids are going to do it. These fools got it. All right, where does this go? It goes like this. Is it going like that? Is that what this is? Oh, okay. It goes like that. That's weird. That doesn't seem right. Okay, yeah. All right, so that goes like that. Okay. We got that together. Now we have to do the same thing on the other side, and let's see if I can do it as good that way. So we need B again here. We need B11. Oh, that's E. Why do I have E there? Okay. So now we're just going to do what we did, but kind of flipped. So the Patriarchy lost. So FTR were on commentary and they interfered, and they were mad at various people, but it ended up being that they ended up helping Hurt Syndicate retain. I thought Christian Cage and Nick Wayne were going to win. I did not expect, and I was kind of surprised, and I would say probably in a good way. I would say probably good, that we had Nick Wayne turn on and attack Christian Cage, his father figure. And Mother Wayne, Nick's real-life mom, was apparently in on it and was happy this was happening. And also Kip Sabian, who was part of the faction, also happy this was happening. And then they were attacking them, and FTR didn't know, they weren't in on it, but they were happy it was happening. And it looked like they were going to concerto. They're going to take him out. And then Cope's music hit. Adam Copeland, formerly known as Edge, came out, and he was like helping. And I was like, why? Now, the idea is that when Cope showed up, he was like, hey, let's get the band back together. I know you're doing this heel thing, but like, come on, come home. Let's make this happen. To which, I think rightfully so, Christian was like, go fuck yourself. He was like, get out of here. I don't need you. You need me. So they feuded and they fought, and it was a whole thing, and it took a long time, and then they went their separate ways to feud with other people. And now I guess, the response to this one was he helped them out, he saved them, and then he had a microphone, and Cope said, go figure yourself out, or something to that effect. So instead, go find yourself. Sorry, it was go find yourself instead of go fuck yourself. It's go find yourself. And I can't believe that the man that went from Adam Copeland to Cope, because he thought Copeland was too long of a name, thought that go find yourself would be a banger of a line. It's so fucking cringe. Hey, Lord Crashington, am I repeating myself from earlier? Yes, I am repeating myself thinking that was fucking cringe as hell. Because it is cringe as hell that he was like, go find yourself. Ugh. Anyway, I guess the story now is that Cope is going to try to make Christian a babyface so they can tag together and take on FTR and take on Kip and Nick Wayne. I think Nick Wayne did need to break away. I think this is incredibly important for him to find something else to do. And I hope that he does find stuff to do that Nick does for his own benefit. I hope that that's happening. Sorry, I gotta make sure we're going the right way. Okay. And then this goes in like this. That sounds like wrestling. Yes, we're talking about All In or Y'all In, All In Texas. So that seems to be the case. I'm glad that I'll say this. In the same way that I am fucking thrilled that Chris Jericho was nowhere on this card. He was in nothing. He was nowhere to be found. That rules. I also am grateful that Cope was not involved in the main event, that he was only involved in his own bullshit storyline stuff. And I think that's progress, because he didn't need to be in the main event. There were already enough fucking people in the main event. So I'm glad that he was not part of that. That was excellent to see. Timeless Toni Storm retained her AEW Women's World Championship against Mercedes Moné by pinfall in what I would consider to be an upset. I thought for sure that belt collector Moné, that 6 belts Moné was going to become 7 belts. I would have called that. I mean, I did predict it. I was very wrong. This match had a incredibly slow build. Now, AEW will tell you that there were 3 main events on the show. Obviously, that's bullshit. There were not 3 main events. This was the third to last match. But it did have a big match feel. And Mercedes had a really cool entrance where there's a local baseball team has cheerleaders because it's Texas. And some of those cheerleaders were wearing her belts. That was kind of fun. She had a long jacket that had the names of everyone that she's beaten in AEW written on it. I thought that was pretty cool. Good presentation. But in general, I will say that for the most part, I didn't think Toni was going to win. I thought Mercedes was going to win because Toni doesn't need the belt to be Toni Storm, and Mercedes having both belts would have been interesting because was she going to defend both belts? They've never done that in AEW. Was she going to drop the TBS title? She should drop the TBS title, but maybe she said, I'm not going to drop the TBS title. And instead, she had to defend both. I don't know. Having Kairi on it is kind of funny since she's in WWE now. Yes, Kairi's name was on the list because that is someone that Mercedes has beaten before Kairi went back to WWE. That was fun. I thought Tony was going to win since Lashbrook, but that match definitely had me doubting myself. It looked very one-sided for a good while. Yes. So this was a big match feel. It was a slow build. It was a feeling each other out. It was a lot of transitions. It was a lot of like hoped spots. I thought it was phenomenally done. I look forward to Toni Storm versus Athena. I guess I'll be honest. I kind of wanted Mercedes to win because I want Athena to turn babyface. And Athena will be a heel against Toni Storm. And I think that match will still be good. I think it will be still cool as hell. But I think I would have liked to seen Athena in a babyface role against Mercedes. But we're not getting that. Still, really good match. Also, Luther looked so good. The valet, Luther, he looked so fucking dashing. It was great. Great gear for Luther in that bit. Everybody looked fucking good. Everybody looked real fucking good in that match. Yeah, and I thought it was well done. Okay, so this has got to be this piece here. Goes like this. Great. Putting this together. We're getting the spine together, everybody. All right. So we need this one, which is the second one we put together. Right? So like this, like that, and then there's a, oh, no, that's not it. So this one. No. Am I doing this wrong? Okay. Let me look at this real closely so I know what's going on. So it'd be like this. It's this piece here. So if it's like that, then it's this side. So I think this is correct. I think this is how this goes. Yeah. Okay. So, and then there's a connection piece that I need to put in here, which is A21. So I'm taking my time with this because I don't want to fuck this up because it's a fucking master grade and these are expensive. This used to be on my wish list and I took it off the wish list when I found out that it was being offered to me. But I thought for sure that I was going to put this up for a poll in January when I got my Christmas money, and then people were going to be like, yeah, build that, Pat. It's the most expensive one on the list. Because that's what y'all have been doing, is you pick the most expensive one, which I think is fair. I think that's totally fair. All right, so we need it to align like this. Like that? Is that how you want me to align? Yes. Okay. And then this goes in like that, and then this goes in like that. And I think I have done this chest right. This will allow some movement. I think I did this right. Oh, no, I did fuck something up. There's another piece that needs to go in here. So I need to take this piece off. Oh, I can take this piece off, I guess. I did miss this piece. I missed D1, 2. D1, 2. I missed that piece there. Do I have to put another one on there? That goes like that. So there must be another one that goes on there then. Right? Oh, you only do one of them. Okay, that's right. Okay. I got it now. The other D1, 2 goes later. Okay. To finish off talking about wrestling here, Kazuchika Okada defeated Kenny Omega and merged the Continental and International Championships together. And the new belt, the Unified belt, AEW Unified Championship, now exists, and that is a melding of the two belts together, which is kind of interesting. So I just got to figure out where this peg goes. Like this? Where does this peg go? Sorry, everybody. I got to see. I think it goes in here. But nowhere does it really fit. So it must be this. Sorry. I am confused about where this piece goes. Because there's no spot on here that like fits right. I think it, yeah. I'm just gonna like kind of line this up, and then I'm gonna see. Okay, so this needs to go. That's where it needs to go. Okay, so I'm just gonna shove this in and then close it. There it is. Great, it snapped in. This piece is in the right spot. Everything seems to be where it's supposed to be, and I think I did everything here right. So we can move on now to the second page. If people aren't voting for you to spend the most money possible, then why even vote? Yes, you're right, Lord Crashington. If I'm going to put up a thing that is incredibly expensive and then a couple things that are less incredibly expensive, yeah, you're going to pick the expensive one. And I wouldn't put it on the list for voting if I didn't want it. So, yeah, you're right. You're right. That's why I don't put up the model kit on my wish list. It's $120-something because I don't want to spend $127 on a cat, even if it's money from my holiday funds and stuff. All right, so then it's going to go in here. That. And then that clamps in like that. Oops. Oh, I can see it. I can see it. There are holes here. There it is. It clicked in place. Oops, it flew away. Holy shit. That's lost forever. That might be lost forever. That piece of plastic flew. I don't know where it went. So, there is a tiny little piece that lives on the back of this that's supposed to go here that flew out. Now, it might have flown into some other stuff. I might find it later. This is a piece that I might discover later. I don't know. Yeah, kit over. We just got to scrap it now. It's fine because this is just a little detail on the back. Nobody will notice it. I'll know it, and you'll know it. Like I said, when I go and clean up, I might find it. If I find it, I will fix it because we're not going to be putting armor on the back of this anytime soon. So that is something that I might be able to find to put on there, but it did fly away. Which is not the best, but whatever. To finish up, Okada versus Omega. Kotobushi was there. There was a lot of cheating. It was a very American match, which is somewhat derogatory, but not fully derogatory. I know there'll be plenty of people that think this was the worst match ever. Was it the worst match ever? No, it certainly wasn't. Was it the worst match on the card? Definitely not. Was it the worst Kenny Omega versus Kazuchika Okada match? Probably, yeah. It was probably their weakest match. It's probably worse than the time limit draw. But also, I didn't need it to be better than those matches because these aren't the same guys. Okada is in his like relaxed period. Kenny Omega is in his we're fucking lucky that Kenny Omega can wrestle at all period. Like, we are blessed that Kenny Omega can put on a banger like that at all at this point. Like, we are just lucky to have any version of Kenny Omega because we almost didn't have any version of him at all. So I'm okay with that. Would I have been happier if it was the best match on the card? Sure. It wasn't. It was still really good. Main event. Via submission, Hangman Adam Page defeated Jon Moxley and is the new AEW World Champion. It happened. It's unbelievable that it happened, but it happened. He did it. He did the thing. There was shenanigans from the other members of the Death Riders that they all got involved. Hold on. Sorry, everybody. Hold on here. This is not... These might not be the right pieces. I have to make sure these are C22. Are these C22? Did I pull out the wrong pieces here? That's C22. And that's C22. Oh, no, one of these is C20. No. Yeah, no. C22 and C22. We'll borrow a piece from the past. Lashbrook says, Hangman's intro made me tear up. Yes. The live performance of a woman whistling was fucking phenomenal. And then his music played, and it was the old Hangman music, and it was fucking dope as hell. And it made me very happy to hear that. And I was thrilled that we got to witness such an event. We are lucky to be able to witness that. It was a fun match. Everybody fucking got involved. Darby Allin's music, or Darby Allin's video of him on the top of Mount Everest played, and then Bryan Danielson came out in a Blue Panther mask, and then Darby Allin rappelled from the ceiling, and I have to imagine that was the wrong order, but it happened, and it was fine and fun, so whatever, who cares? But I have to imagine that was something got messed up there, and it wasn't supposed to be that order. I don't know. Swerve did come to help, which was nice. Swerve did get involved. Swerve did help out to make it. He did make a difference. This isn't working the way it's supposed to. I might have fucked this up somehow, and I don't know how I would have. But these don't pop in here. These are supposed to like kind of sit in here, and they don't. Unless they're supposed to be really loose, in which case that's fine. Maybe they're supposed to be really loose, but they don't seem right. But I don't know how they could be wrong. How could be that wrong? So these are supposed to go in that. Yeah, that's fine. And these go into that. And then there's a piece. A4 locks into place. This might just be loose, and I'm confused about it, which is possible. But anyway, a lot of that match was fucking gruesome and bloody, and there was a lot of nonsense involved, and a lot of brutality. Marina Shafir got handcuffed to the timekeeper's table, which is very fucking funny. That was a really good bit of business. Just like there were a lot of sillier spots. And the Young Bucks came out, even though they're not EVPs, they can still, get their revenge. And so they did some shenanigans, and Swerve hasn't made up with Hangman, but he did recognize that Hangman winning was the right move. And so that was nice. And then here's a little touch. The briefcase. Marina Shafir had been carrying around a briefcase with the world title in it. And apparently the world title had been in there because it did fit. People didn't think it was going to fit. I was one of those people that didn't think that was going to fit. Here's an odd thing that I thought was kind of fun. The plates, the side plates on the world title were still the Bryan Danielson side plates. Moxley, who never showcased the championship, never got John Moxley side plates on the belt. Never said his name. Didn't acknowledge that part. I thought that was a very interesting attention to detail, and kind of wild that is the thing that was part of that. Yeah, it was overbooked. It was booked to hell, but it was all good stuff. I mean, it was still fucking phenomenal. And the right result, and I was afraid they weren't going to do the right result. Now, MJF versus Hangman Adam Page, that's going to be fucking good. Those guys work well together. The promos will be good. Hangman will still need friends because he is now going to be facing somebody that has backup, that has like a whole crew. So that's going to be interesting. You also have the whole thing of like, are the Death Riders going to go away for a while? Are they going to be hunting Hangman? We don't know. So like that's also interesting. How long will and Swerve wait in the wings until they want their shot? And what does that mean when they get their shots at the title? Those are interesting components. And then of course also like you have to remember that Hangman Adam Page's first title run was bad. It was badly booked. He fought against baby faces and heels that were over and very popular. He fought Lance Archer, and Lance Archer was a heel, and that made a lot of sense, and it was good that he fought Lance Archer. But he also fought against Adam Cole, who was a heel but was way over. Danielson, who was kind of acting like a heel but wasn't. And then he lost the belt to CM Punk, who was also a babyface. It was babyface versus babyface. Hangman had a really bad run. It was a really poorly booked run, and I hope in this one he faces actual heels, and it works out for him. Because if it doesn't, we'd be fucking furious. So I have 2 of these, and I don't understand why I have 2 of these. Let me look ahead here. Do I have to pick one of these? Do they want me to build both cockpits? What am I doing with these cockpits? What am I doing with these cockpits? So I've got this cockpit here that has stickers on it. One of these is going to have stickers on it. There were multiple "if Mox wins, we riot" signs, and I believe them. Yes, I think that would have been a dangerous situation. So it says E14, and you put stickers on it, and then there's an arrow, and it says E15, which is this one, and there's not stickers on it. And I don't know what they want. Which one do they want? And then where does it go? It goes in here. We're going to do E15 and put a body in it, and we're not going to do the one with stickers, because I don't know why I would do that. I don't know why I would put stickers on a thing when I can just put a person in there. So we'll do that version of it. And I need G, fit 5, and G5. Here's G5. It's our pilot. We're going to pick our pilot out of here. We'll never see this pilot, but we'll know it's in there. Yeah, overall, probably my favorite AEW pay-per-view of the year. I think I would say Double or Nothing was really good. There's no match in here that I really hate. I don't think the 4-way for the TNT title was particularly great, but it had some good sequences in it. I really love the part where Sammy is going to win and Dustin stops it, and Sammy is like, "What the fuck, man? Why are you doing this? We're tag team partners. Let me win." And then Dustin's like, "I need this." And it's very funny that they apparently didn't have that conversation before. And that made me laugh, that they just like didn't do anything about it. They never chatted. I thought that was very funny. But overall, excellent show. As I said, there's one match I don't like as much. I think the result of that one is also not great, because I don't think you should have Dustin Rhodes as a champion. I don't think he'll be a champion for long, but I also don't think he needed to be a champion at all. But overall, I thought this was a stellar show. Great end results. So I was surprised by a couple results. Hurt Syndicate and Tony Storm retaining, I thought was interesting. I know some people were shocked because they thought Kenny was going to win, and I'm like, I didn't spend any time thinking Kenny was going to win. I was pretty convinced that it was going to be Okada, so that Kenny could take some fucking time off, and then maybe have a different feud that doesn't have a title. I don't think Kenny needs a belt, and I think Okada with both belts, unified championship, was great. The one person I wish had been involved in the main event was Willow. I don't know why Willow wasn't out there. I wanted Kenny to win, but I didn't feel strongly either way. Yeah, I hear you, Westbrook. And then also, I wish Eddie was ready to come back, because that would have been great. If Eddie came out, that would have been unbelievable. We got Brian. That was good. But I think that could have been, and it was still. So it was good. Now it's the part of the stream where I'm going to talk to you about ways that you can support me and what I do here. There are a variety of ways to do that financially. We'll talk through those. These are all optional. You don't have to do any of these things, but if you'd like to, that would be great. First and foremost, if you're a member here, you can throw the Bear Cave, the Lego, the Scythe, the Tier 2 blue emote in the chat. Being a subscriber to the Baer Workshop is the easiest way to support me financially because you're already here in Twitch. So you just sign up, and then once a month, if you use Cash Money, then they just take the money out and then it comes to me, and that's great. And if you want to use your Prime Gaming token, then you have to do that every month, and that's also okay. You never see ads, pre-roll ads, you don't see those, you don't see ads during the stream. You get some cool emotes. Hey, Dirty, welcome. So that's a thing you could do. If you wanted to, you could become a subscriber. I would love it if you wanted to do that. There are other ways to support me financially, and we'll go through those now. I'll try to do it fast so we can start talking about some anime. I have a Patreon at patreon.com/PatBear. There's a $1, $3, $5, and $10 tier. There are different rewards for different tiers. Consider joining me on Patreon at those there. My 3, 5, and 10 voted for me to play Pokemon on Tuesday, which was nice. And there's going to be a Q&A video that'll come out at the end of this month. It'll just be for patrons, so consider joining. We'd love to have you there. I have a YouTube channel at youtube.com/PatBear. Over on my YouTube channel, you can, of course, subscribe at any time for free. But if you want to be a special member for just $2 a month, you can join me over there, and you'll get my Wednesday videos on Tuesday. So if you want to know another show that I really loved from the spring season before other people get to find out, then you can join that, and then you get to see those videos. That's just a cool thing you can do if you wanted to. Those are all monthly ways to support me financially if you're so inclined. But if you just want to throw something in my tip jar, I've got a Ko-Fi and a PayPal. Right now, I've got a fundraiser on my Ko-Fi that is unrelated to this stream, but I thought I would mention it. If you wanted to jump in on that, it would be nice. Big announcement: Bill Goldberg lost to Gunther. He did not become the heavyweight champion WWE, and Goldberg has retired. Sorry, breaking news: Goldberg has retired. It's over. It's finally over, everybody. So that's great. Congratulations to everybody. Goldberg lost to Gunther and didn't win. They didn't put a belt on Goldberg again. They didn't press the Goldberg button. Sorry. I got distracted by that. Everything I make through direct donations through YouTube, which includes AdSense, so watching my videos helps me out, through Patreon and through Twitch, all goes into a fund, and I pull money out of that fund to buy model kits. Now, I have some other stuff to build. Besides this kit, the Vidar, which was sent to me again, which is lovely. Thank you. Shout outs to DSHS for picking that up for me and sending it out my way. He sent another kit that I can build, an SD kit. And I made a dedicated YouTube video about those things, and they jumped the queue and became the next thing that I'm working on. If you would like to buy something for me to build. Now, this is somebody who I am friends with who sent me a kit that they had an extra of. The easiest way to actually buy something for me to build is to buy it on my Amazon wish list. You go to my wish list, you see something there, you think, I'd love to see Pat put that together. So you can purchase it, it'll come to me in mail, and then I will put together, and again, it'll jump the queue, it'll bypass my backlog of stuff that I'd still like to work on. I've got model kits and Lego sets, inexpensive kits, expensive kits. I have one jigsaw puzzle on the list. All kinds of different things I would love to put together. I recently added some stuff in there. There's some stuff that is on sale, that was on sale this week for Prime Week that has now gone up in price. But there's still some stuff that's on sale. If you want to see me build the G-Quux, I will build the G-Quux. For Mobile Suit Gundam. I will build the G-Quux or the G-Quarks. I'll put that together. If you want me to build a main kit, that's on my wish list. You could buy that and I'll build it. If you wanted me to put together the Lightning Z Gundam, that's on my wish list. That's not too expensive right now. Lego sets, model kits, inexpensive stuff, very expensive stuff, like the Goku and Vegeta as, the chibis. from Dragon Ball Daima. That's a paired kit. That's a little pricey, but you're getting 2. But yeah, there's a bunch of things and thanks. If you see something there you'd like to see me put together, you could do that. And yeah, consider it. And again, jumps the queue, gets its own video. I want to get the Red Gundam. It's hella dope. Yeah, Vax, the Red Gundam does look good. I would, of all the ones, those are the 2 I think I would most like to build. G-Fred is just an Ava kit, but I also probably would want to put together. But I also want to build modern kits. I like building modern kits. Modern high grades that don't have polycaps, I'm into those. So I still eventually will build most of them. Like, I don't want the cop kit. There's a police mech. I'm not super interested in building that. There's also a couple kits that are just like barely different. And so I'm like, I'm not super into those. Now, if you don't want to buy something for me from Amazon, I respect it. I have an option for you. I have a throne wish list. It's much more managed, because there's only so much on there. But yeah, check out the throne list, see if there's something there you'd like to pick up. And then if you want to support me financially, but you need it to be incredibly complicated, you go to USA Gundam Store. You buy a gift card at USA Gundam Store. They will send you a gift card code in your email. Then you can send me a whisper on Twitch or a DM on Twitter or Blue Sky or Mastodon with that gift card code, and then I will use that gift card code to buy something from USA Gundam Store. And you can even be like, hey, you should pick this kit up. And I might say, I've actually already built that. Or, ooh, yeah, I will buy that. And you could do that. So you not just like a blank gift card, you could like make a request with it. That's the thing. You can also send me a message, like a friend message through Discord if you want to do that. If you wanted to, you could. Those are various ways to support me financially. If you want to support me but you don't want to spend any money, I mentioned I have a Discord. Join me on Discord. We'd love to have you over there. It's a cool place full of fun folks, and you are welcome there. A couple video links for you to check out. The most recent episode of Pat Baer's Anime Club is me talking about all of the isekai out this season, including a video where a part of the video is me talking about the asterisk in there. Because is one show actually an isekai? Yes. Is it actually an anime? Yes, but people debate it. But yes, it's an anime. I think if you're a piece of animation, you're an anime. That's my take on it. So it's an isekai. Kuma Baer is my weekly anime recommendation series. All this month, I am recommending shows from the spring 2025 season. And so in this video, I recommend Apocalypse Hotel, which is a melancholy series. It is brutal in some parts and funny and lovely and sad. It's a lot of emotions in that show. It's great. It's such a good premise of all humanity left, and on his way out, the manager of a hotel told the robots, I'll be back soon. So the robots are keeping the hotel running. And it goes from there into places. It goes directions. There are tanukis. It's great. You should watch Apocalypse Hotel and watch my 1-minute video encouraging you to watch the whole thing. All right, I've got some anime to talk about, so we'll get into that. And then when we're before we get into the anime, I do need to drink some water. We got to get back to the overhead camera, and then we got to start putting together more stuff here so that we can eventually build arms for this kit. And we'll do all that right now. All right. So we did it. We did it, everybody. Let's talk about some anime. Let's talk about episode 2 of The Water Magician, and then episode 1 of Secrets of the Silent Witch. So, this, unfortunately, the anime adaptation is moving a little faster than I would have liked, but not like so fast that I'm like, I'm not super against it, but it is moving a little quicker than I wish it would. But it's still good. We're still good here. I'm not like freaked out about it. It's just like I said, it's moving a little faster. If you didn't watch the first episode, our main character, Ryo, died. It's kind of ordinary. just kind of doing his thing. He gets the opportunity to reincarnate, and he gets dumped in a place so he can learn magic. He is a water magician, like the title would suggest. We later find out, much later, but I'll tell you because it's good context, but this is the thing we find out in the series way later. Water magicians are incredibly rare. This is not a thing that water magic and dark magic are very rare. So this dude doing water magic is crazy. Also, he's really good at it because he's trained himself in this harsh environment to survive. And so he's very competent when it comes to that. Also, he is, because he has imagination, he does stuff without chance. He can use ice magic, which is a variation. Also, in the first episode, he did run into he did run into a Dullahan that taught him to use a sword, and apparently that Dullahan either was friends with or was the Fairy King at one point. So now he's a magic swordsman, which is very rare, and he is a very accomplished swordsman. He also met a dragon who just kind of clued him into some stuff, including that information. And that kind of isn't a big deal that he met and hung out with a dragon. But he did meet a dragon who was like, yeah, I don't know. I saw you doing some stuff, so I wanted to come over and see what was going on. I heard you beat this hawk. That's cool. So our second episode, he's still, doing his thing. He's still strong and hanging out. He finds a shipwreck, and a swordsman named Abel is still alive. And then Abel is just like, oh, wow. You must be a hermit, because he sees Ryo's bad clothes. He finds out he's a magician or wizard, but he doesn't have like a staff. So he's just like, I got to protect you. You're clearly in some sort of trouble, which is nice. These are nice instincts from our guy. He's misreading the situation completely, but he does think that he's got to help out his savior, who did, and to be fair, he did help him out. So, wait, I need E8. Hold on with that. Sorry, hold on. Oh, this is the piece that I took out by mistake earlier. So that's why. I was like, what happened to this one piece I'm missing? Turns out I knew what happened to it. I did something wrong earlier. That's what was wrong. Abel is trying to find he's trying to get back to the Loon Village in a kingdom. That's his goal, is to get back there. But he realizes, oh, fuck. I really fucked up. This shipwreck and me being adrift at sea took me really fucking far away from where I need to go. I am pretty boned, and he realizes he's going to have a long trek to get where he needs to go. Ryo is like, I can guide you some of the way, like I'll go with you. Sorry, let me just figure this stuff out. Okay, so this needs to go. I understand now. Sorry, everybody, I was messing this up. This needs to stick out of this piece here. All right. This needs to go in here all the way through. I was misunderstanding how that worked. Then this piece has to go into this first here. Some of these components here, having a third hand would be nice, but alas, it's not meant to be. All right. I did figure this out. Did do what this needed for me to do. And then this goes like this. Oh, there's a second. I didn't do this right. God damn it. There are multiple D1s. I didn't do this right. When I do the other one, it's going to be fucking easy because I'm going to understand how to do it right. I didn't do this one right. This piece goes like this. This goes like this. There's another D14 that I needed to pop out of here. All right, so Ryo decides he's going to go with him. Before he leaves the area, he does sneak off to go and talk to the Dullahan that has been training him. He does go and talk to this Dullahan and say goodbye, and the Dullahan gives him the robes that he had worn. These are the robes that he had worn before. Much later, I don't even think we'll get to it in this series, maybe. Apparently, these are robes that were once worn by the Fairy King. This Dullahan, for real, 100% in total, at some point, was the Fairy King and then became a headless guy at some point. So that is a thing that has happened in the story. Our guy is just figuring that. And again, our guy doesn't know that. He doesn't know these are robes. Much later in the manga, an elf goes, "Oh, you're beloved by the Fairy King," and he's like, "Wait, what?" He's like, "You're wearing Fairy King robes. Like, I can recognize that right away." And our guy has to be like, "Oh, cool. My master gave me robes." So yeah, says goodbye to Dullahan, and so they start traveling and they fight, and they're fighting a bunch of stuff. And Ryo kind of realizes, oh, wait, this dude is fucking strong. Like, this hermit guy I met is actually really strong, and I was wrong for thinking I needed to protect him. But he's kind of inconsistent in, like, what he's good at and what he isn't. We get a history lesson about the various empires that will unfortunately come into play later, because it's kind of boring. And at the time, I remember thinking, when I was reading this manga, I was like, I do not care about any of this stuff. That unfortunately, that does become something that is kind of important to know about, because there's big dramatic stuff going on or behind the scenes in this story. So that does come up later. All right, I'm just going to make sure this is in the right spot here. I think it is. Great. So now I'm going to do what I just did here, but on the other side, and that should theoretically be easier because I just did it, but you never fucking know. So yeah, they heard about the empires and all that. There is a bunch of rock golems that they defeat, and Ryo harvests a big magic stone. This fight rules because we get to watch him. So he's like, oh, well, if they're tricky. Abel is like, these are tricky because they regenerate really fast. So you kind of have to find the core as you're breaking it down. It requires like several people. And the solution to that is that Ryo makes a giant cube, like a huge monolith cube of ice that falls from the sky and just crushes them. And he's like, all right, I'll keep doing that. And that's his solution, is just to be incredibly overpowered and skilled and just destroy golems in a way that Ryo is just like, oh, okay. Which I found to be fun. That's fun little business. They get a magic stone. This world is full of monsters, as we're going to learn. There'll be more monsters for our guy to deal with along the way. But this was, some of the stuff here. They find they run into a griffin, and they're like, shit, we have to fight this griffin. But thankfully, the griffin is just like, yeah, actually, I'm going to take off. Like, doesn't say anything, just kind of takes off. And we are led to believe maybe that griffin does not want to fuck with our guy Ryo. But Abel is still freaked out because Abel's just like, yeah, man, griffins haven't been around. This is kind of fucked up. But they press on and they run into a bunch of wyverns. And again, because he uses ice magic, he uses ice spears and he can freeze the air. Our guy Ryo takes them down really easily. And Abel is just like, that's fucked up. It usually takes like 20 adventurers working together to defeat one, and you just killed a bunch of them. You're very good at this. You don't know anything about this world, but you are incredibly skilled. which is fun. It's Water Magician. This is a laid-back show with a lot of adventure. It is my favorite isekai that's out right now. I would recommend it because, again, it's pretty slow-paced. We are getting to stuff. It's slower in the manga, but of course, but it's still slow-paced, and I'm enjoying the ride. And yeah, I would recommend that people check it out if you're looking for an isekai to check in. I don't know if I'm going to keep watching Secrets of the Silent Witch. I watched the first episode. I'm a week behind, so I might get caught up and watch the second episode, or I might just stop watching it. I don't know. I'm going to give it at least one more episode. I don't know for sure if I'm committing to it or not, but I am committing at least to one more ep. I'll tell you that, if not two more. In this episode, we have a kingdom, and we're getting a bit of a flashback here. The kingdom is being attacked by a bunch of dragons, led by the Black Dragon. A dragon, a big old scary dragon, has basically gotten a bunch of other dragons to do its bidding, and they're all attacking this kingdom, and everyone's fucking terrified and scared because it's a goddamn dragon attack, and why wouldn't they be scared? But don't worry about it, because that black dragon that was in charge of the other smaller dragons just fucking gets killed by Monica Everett, who is known as the Silent Witch of the Seven Sages, because she can cast spells without an incantation, so she doesn't have to chant to cast spells. She can just do the thing. But the reason why she can do that is because of social anxiety. She's fucking freaked out about talking in public, so she had to learn how to do spells without chants so that she could keep doing spells. She does not want to be one of the seven sages. She is the Silent Witch because she does not want to talk to fucking people. And she, for the most part, has kind of tried to stay out of stuff like politics, no thanks. She just wants to be left alone. She is just anxious. She really only talks to one other the sages, Louis Miller, and she barely can communicate with him. But his vibes are enough that she has forced herself to be able to talk to him, and it kind of works for her. It works for her to talk to him. But anyway, he comes in and he's just like, "Hey, guess what? We have a job for you. You got to protect the second prince." And she's just like, "I've never done that. That doesn't make any sense. Why me?" And it's like, well, because he's going to school. He's going to the academy, and your job, Monica, because Monica also never went to school, because that would be where the people are there. She's like, "Yeah, but you're the right age for it. So assume an identity. We'll set up for you. Go to school and then protect him without him knowing it, because he keeps saying he doesn't want protection. And that's crazy. So instead, we compromised, and you're going, and he doesn't know." That's important. The second prince, Felix, does not know that our girl Monica is undercover and is there to protect him. He's supposed to never find out. She is going to have to do her best to fit in a way where nobody will notice it's her. All right, so you know that this piece flew off. And I took a part from the future, and I think I'm going to have to take that out because that's going to go on the piece that's going to be on this part of the kit. I don't know yet. I'm going to look at it. Either I take this piece off and put it up here, or I leave this piece there, and then the other one is dangling. And I haven't decided which is I'm going to do yet, because I don't know if I'm going to be able to find that little piece that flew away or not. I have no idea if I'll be able to track it down. I would like to. I'd like to find it, but I can't for sure say that I will. So we're going to take a look and see how I want to do it. Which of these is going to be missing? And it just makes it a unique kit. You know what I mean? We're just building a custom kit that has a piece missing. It's different from everybody else's Vidar. Anyway, so obviously our girl does not want to fucking do this shit. And she gets kind of basically bullied into it and conscripted into it. So our girl has to go to school, hide her identity, protect the prince, because if he finds out, then it's going to be a whole thing. And so keep her secret safe, and then also like be around him, but not stand out. So she gets pressured. Then she goes with her familiar, which is a black cat named Nero, which is a great name for a familiar. They head out. They go to Lewis's house, and they are introduced to Isabel Norton, who is the daughter of a count, and that is that count is in charge of the land that Monica saved from the Black Dragon. And we get to see Isabella kind of act like a villainous character, like she's kind of an asshole. But eventually we find out, oh, she's just like kind of fucking tsundere, and she does thank Isabella does thank our girl Monica for helping. And that might come back later. This character might be important later. I don't know, because I haven't read this manga. So I don't know what's going on in it. I can only assume. All right, so this has to go. I am not sure how this whole thing works. I think this goes like this. I think this is how that goes. And then this goes in between. I don't know. I'm confused. Anyway, I'm going to watch the second episode because nothing really happens here. I thought the fight scene was good. I think this is going to be like a fish out of water story. I do like Monica. I think that her issues are relatable. The idea that she became like an incredible mage, just like she didn't set out to become an incredible mage. She became an incredible mage because she just didn't want to talk to people. And the solution to her problem was, well, I just won't say anything. And I find that to be a really fun, compelling little bit of business. All right, so this is going to go here. And then this has to go here, but then that like sticks out in between. I don't know how this goes together. Okay, that goes like that, I think. I'm going to try to put this together like on its side. I think that might be helpful. I don't know. No, that's probably not going to work. Okay, that popped out. But if I can get the back kind of connected, then I can kind of shove this in and then connect this like this. All right, I think I did this correctly. Yeah. And then I'll put this in, and then we'll see where this goes. This goes like this. Yeah, okay. But where do these go? I forgot how fucking complicated these Vidar frames were. This is going to be a long build. It's going to be a good build, but it's going to be a long build. Okay, so this goes like this. Then this doesn't fucking sit in right. And then it's like, there are these little places that this goes. And I'm like, where? I don't see them. I don't see where these little spots are that go there. Because that's like over here. Unless it goes, unless that's this, that's really far away. And then it's like, check. It's like, what do you mean check? What do you want from me? There's some spot that these two things are supposed to go, and I don't know where those spots are because I can't see it. Also, if I look at the image, that's not going to help because the image is the outer frame of it. So, like, that's not going to help me at all. Like, this is the neck, so like I gotta get that right. Like, that's still got to go in the right spot. But I don't know where this goes. Like, this goes here. I know that. At the very least, I understand that that's going to go there. But I don't understand where any other part of this goes. Eventually, that goes like that. Because there's a piece that should go there. This is one of those things where I'm like looking at it and I'm like, did I mess something up? Like, did I put something in the wrong place? Okay, so like that. Okay, I think I got it. I think that's right. This is where that goes. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, so there I am missing a piece here. But these lock in there. Okay. All right, I think I figured it out. I'm going to be second guessing myself a lot on these kits. Because also, if you have never built an Iron Blooded Orphans kit before, there is a thing that happens that is weird, which is that it's haunched over like this. Like, it's not straight. It's like this because instead of a humanoid form, it's like a demonoid form. If you think about the Gundams, most Gundams are like mobile suits that take after a human anatomy, right? Or an idealized version of human anatomy. But kits like this, the Iron Blood and Orphans show kits, are like based on demons because everything is fucking sad in this world. So yeah, you kind of have to remember that. So I have to remind myself that. I definitely messed up a bunch of like high grade chests and had to go back and fix it because I was like doing it wrong because I wasn't thinking about the demonic nature of the design. So it's been a hot minute since I did a high grade from the show. So I guess it makes sense. I'm like, I don't know what I'm supposed to do here. All right, so then I got to put this in somewhere. These pieces need to go somewhere. This is D14. It just says tightly fit, which is like, okay. I think. Now is the part of the stream because I have finished talking about the anime that I've been watching. I'm going to watch the second episode. Now's the part of the stream where I want to hear from you, friends. What are you working on? What are you up to? What are you into? What have you been playing? I mean, I have been watching wrestling all day, and we talked about that. But there's other stuff going on with me, so I can tell you about that as well. I don't know how this piece is supposed to go in, so I'm going to try to figure that out right now while I talk to you. But I have been playing Hearthstone. You know that that's been my thing. I've got 3 decks that I'm playing right now, 2 that I really like that are new decks, and 1 that I think is fine. I've got a Quest deck that I think is pretty solid, and I've got a Beast deck. Beast Quest deck that I think is pretty solid and fun. It's real mid-range, but like it's definitely doable. And then I've got a deck where it is a warrior deck, and the idea is that I have to play a card, a new card that makes every minion in my deck cost 5. So then I'm able to play a really expensive card for cheap and do a bunch of damage with that expensive card, and it's pretty great. I got this piece to go in, and so this piece should just go in as well, exactly the same, but it's not. I don't know why. There it is. There it went in. All right, let's get the rest of this stuff done here. I need B9 and A9 and A8. So yeah, let me know what you're up to, what you got going on. I always love hearing from you about those things and things. So let me know if you want to. A8 and A9 are. There's A9, there's A8, great. So yeah, playing Hearthstone. Yesterday I did do a one-shot with some friends, and that was really fun. I've been talking to you a bit about how a friend of mine has been working on a one-shot and kind of using us as test subjects for that, and that has been fun. to kind of help with that. I have enjoyed doing that. So I've been helping out with that project, and we did that a little bit yesterday, and that was really fun. And then Nubby's Number Factory, I didn't play the last 2 days, and I've been itching to play it because as you are well aware, I really like Nubby's Number Factory. So I am jonesing to get back into that. I'll be playing a bunch of that tomorrow. And yeah, I mean, that's kind of it as far as games go. I haven't really been doing much. I've been watching some anime. I will be watching Private Tutor of the Duke's Daughter tomorrow, and then on Monday I'll be watching and I think I'm going to be covering probably on Mondays. I don't know for sure, but I think I'm going to cover on Mondays the wonderful world of Sakamoto Days. I think Sakamoto Days Part 2 I'm going to be covering here. So I'll be watching that. At the very least, I'll watch it on Monday and decide if I'm going to talk about it or not. I don't know. Monday might be one anime and me talking about manga. We might return to Manga Monday. I don't know. I haven't decided yet. But that'll be fun. And tomorrow, I've got some wrestling to watch with friends, watching some Tokyo Joshi Pro Wrestling. We will watch the afternoon show tomorrow from that. Okay, so where does this go? This is going to go into this here. And then lock in there. Okay. This is a bad thing to do right now, but I'll get it done. And I have to clamp this in place. Or slot this in place. Yeah, so tomorrow night, going to watch that. And I'm just going to chill. I've got some work to do during the day, prepping for stuff for next week. Next Saturday, I want to say this right now, friends. Next Saturday is my 8th anniversary of being a streamer. And so I have a special kit that I will be starting. So this kit will be paused. We'll work on this on Monday and on Thursday. I will not have finished this kit by Thursday. There's just no fucking way in hell that I will have finished it. So we will wrap this kit up. We'll pause this kit and then we will build something special. And I don't know when I'm going to announce it. I might announce it on Monday. I haven't decided yet. I might announce it during the stream on Monday. But it'll be cool. It's going to be a cool thing, a cool way to celebrate 8 years of streaming, and then getting into, just doing that stuff. All right, so I have to get these snapped in, and I don't want it to fly away, because you may remember that we already had one of these pieces fly away. So I'm going to try to get this in here and locked in without it flying away. We'll see if I can do that. Because the other piece did fly away, and that was bad. And again, I don't know if we'll ever find it, but we can see where it used to be, or where it's supposed to be. Okay, so breathe, Pat. Don't freak the fuck out about it. Again, this is probably the wrong thing to do at the end of a stream after I spent all day watching wrestling, but that's where we're at. There's so much going on with this chest. This is going to be a nice long build. It's going to rule. Dirty says, I finished Revenge of the Savage Planet yesterday, played Duck Detective today, fuck yeah, and will be continuing my playthrough of Rogue Trader tomorrow between loads of laundry. Nice. I should probably do some laundry. I should do some stuff around the house. I want to go for a nice long walk, because it's been a while since I went for a walk. Get out in the neighborhood, catch up on some podcasts. There it is. I got it. Finally. Whew. Okay. All right. So now we need one other piece that needs to go in here, which they're calling chest armor. So now we're going to finally start putting some armor in here. We did all the inner frame stuff. Now we get to do the armor. So G1, 4. We got a bunch of G1 pieces going in here. So yeah, now we're going to just start putting in the armor, because we did the inner frame. We could skip to the next thing and do all of the inner frame. I don't want to do that, but we could do it. We could do it. We're not going to, but we could. All right, so this has to go front. This goes back. so I can get this clipped in. I remember this being a pain in the ass the last time I did it. Because it's like, I have to remember which way it goes. It goes like this. And I remember when I did this before, I didn't do it right. So that was fun. Again, maybe not the best thing to do right now. Yeah, I should probably get some laundry done. I think that's maybe a good idea. Maybe I do that tomorrow while I do I have to do a bunch of chores anyway. I could do that. And then Lashbrook says, I spent my day watching wrestling as well. Hell yeah. Still been playing Uma Masumi and System Shock 2. Inching ever closer to the end of that game. Nice. Yeah, keep at it. I remember enjoying my time with System Shock 2, so I hope you are as well. Okay, and then it goes back into place. We got that in. That piece was annoying. Then we need G2 and we need H1. So we'll get H1 out and we'll get G2 out. G2, we want 32, 33. We need those. We need 32 and 33. Those are 31, 32 and 33. Got it. Yeah, that's fun. Yeah, I watched so much goddamn wrestling today, and then I'm gonna watch more tomorrow night. It's just it never ends. But I'll be able to watch some, and it'll be a good time. I'm looking forward to hanging out, watching some wrestling. Usually there's Collision on tonight, but obviously there wasn't because of the pay-per-view that happened on Thursday. So I'm not in a rush to finish up this stream because I gotta go and watch that with people. So instead, I'll just take my time and then get caught up on some videos that came out today. There's some videos that came out that I didn't watch on my YouTube because I was doing wrestling stuff all day. So I got to get caught up on those, which is fine. That's cool, actually. All right, then I need H1, 14, and 13. Lord Crashton saw Superman, and it was a fun time. Started driving through Iowa. In American Truck Simulator, hell yeah. And found a nice dinosaur sculpture next to a gas station. Hell yeah. We love to see that. It wasn't a hotel. It said no vacancy, but part of the vacancy had been blown away, so it said Novak, and so they called the town Novak. You sure it wasn't Novak? I mean, that's not Iowa. I guess that's not Iowa. But when I think of dinosaur, when I think of big dinosaur, I think of that because I played too much of Fallout New Vegas, and so I think about the dinosaur by the no vacancy sign that's busted, and they don't know that, so they call it Novak. I just think of that place. God damn it. Let's see. Where do you go, Armor? Where do you snap in? Where do you even belong? Oh, you belong there and there. Okay, great. And then you would be on the other side in the same place. Theoretically, you'd be in the same position that the other one was. And it would be very easy for me to just snap right in place where you are. I wouldn't stress about it. It wouldn't be weird at all. You would just work. You would go here. And there. Jesus, okay. I delivered to Iowa City and found out half of the United States has a city named after their state. Yes, that's true. Lots of states have a city that is just also the name of the state. Yeah, that's a fucking thing. All right, so I'm going to use my marker to put an arrow here so I know this is where we want to start. With big kits like this, I often do this because just looking at it, I might not know where I left off. On a high grade, I might instantly know where we left off, but in this case, I might not. So I'm going to make it very easy for myself for Monday that this is the step that we need to do. We need J5 and J4 and G13. This is just to help me, and this will be incredibly helpful. I am looking out for future Pat, which is a thing I don't do enough, just in general. I don't look out for Pat as much as I would like to. So we'll put this there so we can take a photo of it later. And that's going to wrap up the stream. Hey, I want to thank you so much for joining me tonight. I hope you had a good time. I had a great time. I think my energy kind of calmed down. I was a little weird because I spent from 1 p.m. until 8:55 or whatever watching wrestling and content about wrestling, and that was just a weird thing to do right before a stream. I think the next time AEW does a daytime pay-per-view, like Forbidden Door, I think might be during the day. I don't know, but if it is, I might just not stream that night because I don't know if it's good for me or not. Anyway, I hope you had a good time. I had a great time. And we're going to end tonight's good time with a raid. We're going to find someone doing cool stuff on a Saturday night. Not a lot of people I know stream on Saturday evenings these days. So we're gonna see who's raided, who we're gonna raid. We might go to Giant Bomb Forever. Yeah, we're gonna raid Giant Bomb Forever. It's been a hot minute since we did that. Actually, you know what? I changed my mind. Games Done Quick is still happening. We're gonna raid Games Done Quick. Because that's great. So we're going to go raid Games Done Quick and see what's going on there. I would recommend just like maybe not looking at the chat, but just enjoying whatever the fuck is happening on that. Reminder, I'll be back on Monday at 9 p.m. Eastern. Monday, we're going to keep working on this very cool kit. We got a bunch of things to talk about. It looks like we're in between some runs here. But we are going to be checking in with Summer Games Done Quick, and I'm going to check that out. Now that I'll have some time this week, I'm going to look at some of the runs, and we'll talk about those runs. I've only watched the one AEW one, Fight Forever. That's the only one I watched, but I want to watch more. But we're going to go hang out with GDQ. Thank you all so much for being here. I hope you have a great rest of your weekend, and I'll see you on Monday. Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye.